The second selection was divided into 4 stages. It's a leveling system which strikers are only allowed to move on after they clear each stage. Those who clear this selection would participate in strengthening training camp with the World 5. Only those who can create chemical reactions with others and combine their weapons to squash their rivals and show dominance will clear the second selection. Before they started in the 3rd stage, players had to complete a 100 goal training stage. After Isagi had cleared the stage, he and Bachira teamed up, but they were approached by Nagi and Reo. Nagi wanted Isagi to join him and Reo's team, but Isagi refused, wanting to stay with Bachira. So, Nagi joined Isagi's team, leaving Reo behind to join Chigiri and Kunigami. But what if Isagi decided to join Reo's team, leaving Bachira behind? My name is Napu, and I'll explain on what if Isagi joined Reo and Nagi's team. Nagi approaches Isagi, asking him to join him and Reo's team. Reo, confused, wonder what Nagi is thinking. Isagi ponders what he should do. Join Nagi and leave Bachira behind? Someone he can create chemical reactions with? He feels that he should stay with Bachira because Bachira knows Isagi's playstyle and they'll create a multitude of chemical reactions. But Isagi thinks back to the first selection, remembering Nagi's amazing ball control and trapping. Isagi thinks to himself that Nagi is a killer striker and tells Nagi that he'll join him. Bachira looks heartbroken because he thought that he would be playing with Isagi, but now Isagi's leaving him. But Bachira thinks to himself, Isagi will get stronger from this and become even bigger monster next time they'll meet. So Bachira doesn't say anything. Isagi tells Bachira that he's sorry, but he wants to test this new version of himself with Nagi. He tells Bachira that they'll meet again on the other side, telling Bachira, don't you dare lose. Bachira smiles and says, goodbye egoist, as they leave the area. So Nagi asked Isagi, was Bachira someone that was close to you like me and Reo? Isagi looks confused, but tells Nagi that he's been with him ever since he came to Blue Lock. And he understands him, he guesses, is what Isagi says. And I also want to add the fact that Reo is a little bit of Isagi at the moment, because Nagi wanted to play soccer with him more instead, but in this version Reo didn't know that Nagi was going to leave him, instead leaving Reo to himself, but that didn't happen in this version, so Reo's actually a bit more happier. But they soon meet Rin's team on the other side, and again Isagi wants to challenge Rin, and Reo is on board on this one. But Reo isn't as cocky as he saw Rin's skills a little bit, because in episode Nagi, Reo sees Rin score a vertical kick skill, whatever Rin did, and like bounce the balls off. And Reo states, so there's more people, more egoists here in Blue Lock. But they play against Rin's team, but with Reo and Isagi as a strategist, they would do somewhat a little bit better, but they'll still lose, with the score being 3-5 this time. As for who would get chosen, it's pretty obvious, since Bachira was the anchor for Isagi and Nagi's team at first in the main story. Reo would get chosen. Of course, Reo wouldn't want to go, but he looks back at Isagi and Nagi, as Isagi, his jealousy for Isagi growing more and more. The rest of the story is basically the same as the main story, up to the 3 vs 3 rivalry battle. But who would Isagi's team play? Who would most likely play against Bachira's new team that consists of Kunigami and Chigiri? But this team will actually be a bit more of a struggle for Isagi's team, unlike in the main story, because Reo didn't have a special weapon, but he was also the anchor for his team. But Bachira has elastic dribbling, and he's also the anchor for this team. So Isagi would still devour Baro, but also everyone else on the whole entire field become even more of a monster for his team. This will actually lead to Baro creating his villainous soccer even more earlier, scoring even more than 1 goal, but 2 goals. But after Isagi's team wins, who will he choose? He would most likely want to choose Bachira, but decides against it. Bachira would make the team a bit more balanced, even though Bachira is not a balanced player. But Isagi doesn't want a balanced team. He instead chooses Chigiri like in the main story, because Chigiri actually involved in the match. and he wants to test his Shigiri speed against Rin's team. So the team would be the same except for Bachira and Kunigami going to the 2v2 stage, playing against Shigigori and Shido. Isagi would most likely challenge Rin's team, but not for Reo, but for Rin. Unlike Nagi, who wants Reo again. This would lead to the 4v4 battle. The match would start the same, but Reo isn't like Bachira. He's not real creative. As Nagi said, his passes in the main story, his passes were telling him to do whatever he wanted to do. And also, Reo didn't have a special weapon, so Rin's team would actually be losing a bit more. And Reo being sad and more depressed in this version too, because he got chosen, not being able to play soccer with Nagi, and that allowed Nagi to evolve even more with Isagi, making his jealousy grow even more. And the fact that he's playing soccer against Nagi would make it even more worse. This will lead to him making the community style even earlier on than in the third selection. Also, Rin will also try a lot more than he did in the main story, which causes Isagi to adapt to him even more, also becoming better. But this time, Isagi's team would win, choosing Ryu. He's a stink bug that Isagi always wanted. I'm kidding. Just kidding. He will obviously choose Rin. Isagi's team will have to try a lot more harder against the World 5 because they do not have an anchor like Reo or Bachira in the original story. Well, except for Reo, he was in the original story in this part. But this will lead them evolving a lot more against the World 5. Rin also went to beat Isagi since he lost to Isagi but wanted to devour him and score the first goal. Also, since this team is a lot more stronger than Rin's original team, I would say they will be able to score another goal with Nagi scoring a 3-stage fake volley instead of a 2-stage fake volley instead. But they'll still lose, obviously. If you guys like this What If, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to know when I upload. And to end off the video, let me know what you guys want to see in the future, and if you guys have any tips on how I can improve, let me know. Thanks for watching.